It's been an emotional time for my family. And I do so want to express to you how grateful I am for your support and your kindness and your reason. Quite honestly, I think without it, we would crumble. So thank you so much for being our rock right now, because I don't feel so strong.
That's Halyna Baldwin, you know, the real victim in all of the Alec Baldwin tragedy. It's been hard for her as wife of accused killer and well-known actor Alec Baldwin. It's been a rough week for Halyna and crew. Today, the district attorney in New Mexico filed formal charges against the actor. From the probable cause statement, the photos and videos clearly show Baldwin multiple times with his finger inside of the trigger guard and on the trigger while manipulating the hammer and while drawing, pointing, and holstering the revolver. Nicole DeBorde's here, Texas criminal defense attorney. Nicole, as we look forward in this, are the Baldwins going to wish that they had just kept their mouths shut?
I think that's always the case. Anytime there's a pending investigation, the ideal situation is to stop talking and let law enforcement do their work and let your lawyers do the talking on your behalf and try to find out exactly what's going on. You know, that said, it's water under the bridge, and these charges are excessive.
Yeah, no, I know you've said that they're excessive. We may disagree on that, so go ahead and state your case.
You know, the situation is this is a movie set, and it is assumed, rightfully so, by the actors and actresses on the movie set that everything that they're dealing with there is a prop. And in this circumstance, you have guns on the set with someone who is charged with handling those guns and preparing them for the actors on the set to make them safe so that the actors can use them in making a movie. And the actors have the right to rely on that job being done. So to attribute purposeful conduct, even if you're going to recklessness, as the prosecution is in this case, it is assuming that he should have known that this was a working firearm. And there's really nothing to make us believe that that would be a reasonable assumption.
And I get that. I'm just wondering, having spent not an inordinate amount of time around firearms, but enough, why the rules governing firearms, which are you assume every weapon is loaded, you never point a weapon at something that you're not ready and willing to destroy, and most importantly, you are responsible for the weapon that is put in your hand and checking it, why that is true in every other setting in the world except somehow life special for actors.
Well, because it's a movie set and actors are given props.
But hold on, Counselor, where in the law does it say that?
It says it in the documents that they have in this investigation. It says that this is a movie set. We know that we're talking about a movie set. And the prosecution has a long way to go to demonstrate that the person who is given a movie set prop has to act the same way that you and I do when we handle our firearms. It's just a very different thing. This is
no, I get that. I get the concept, but I'm just going back to where in the law, when we look at the law, where does it say all of the rules of firearms apply except on a movie set? I get that it's understood, but where do we see that?
Well, the laws that first of all, the rules that you and I are interpreting in terms of how we handle a firearm, how we know that we don't point it at somebody unless you intend on killing them. And that's where you start. You know, obviously in a movie set, the actor is going to be pointing a firearm at someone without the intent of killing them. The difference is that on a movie set, which we know this is, the actor is pointing it because it's part of the script. It's part of what they're intended to do as their job in acting. It's a very different circumstance, and the law has to take into account the actual facts and circumstances of the case.
Well, and reasonably so, the state of mind of the person who was doing it, whether a reasonable person would believe that that was reckless at the time, knowing what that reasonable person knew. That said, the way Alec Baldwin has handled this is pretty stunning. I want to play one quick soundbite of him on Cuomo talking about things. Take a listen.
The man who's the principal safety officer on the set of the film declared that the gun was safe when he handed it to me. If he didn't know, if he hadn't checked. The point is, all of us were told that everything was cool and you can relax and we're working with a gun that's safe to rehearse with.
Again, how much regret should there be by him and his team, quote unquote, and his family, that they perhaps sort of took the celebrity idea a little too far? That it seemed as though they thought they were impervious to this. They didn't seem to care about the court of law. They cared about the court of public opinion.
You know, I think sometimes when people are being investigated for a crime and they really firmly believe in their own innocence, they mistake being able to talk about the circumstance publicly with the realities of an investigation.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.